$200,000 a year using the exact same skills, the exact same expertise. And I'll share with you the one strategy that allowed me to 2x my income in less than 6 months. So let's get right into it. So I was a school educator and I was already making $116,000 a year. Of course, we know when you're in the school system, you make one amount, but that's not what you bring home. So I was bringing home about $85,000 a year. And so I left the school system, did not have a plan. I just knew I needed to get out of the toxic situation that I was in. I knew that I needed to do something, and I knew that I could monetize my skills because everybody was calling me to do things and was asking me questions, but I wasn't getting paid for it. So, of course, I decided to start a consulting business. But that's not what allowed me to 2x my income in a 6 month time period. So when I say a 6 month period of time, I'm literally talking about from July to December. So this started in July to December. And I put this strategy into place. I knew that, for one, the first thing I knew was that I needed a different environment. I knew that the environment that I was in was not allowing me to grow. But that's not the thing. Wait, just hang in there with me for 1 second. So I knew that I needed a different environment. And I knew that this environment needed to allow me to grow. But one of the things that I had to come to terms with and had already talked to myself about was anytime that there had ever been any growth in my life and any growth in anything that I've seen in society, in nature, in people, the reality is that growth hurts. And I thought about my boys as they go through growth spurts and how they talk about how their bones hurt, their ligaments are sore, they are hurting for no reason. It's because they were growing. They will wake up and have grown overnight. So I came to terms with the idea that, okay, this may make me uncomfortable. But the thing that allowed me to go from my current income to the next level of income, it wasn't me trying to do more work. It was literally me learning how to say no. Now, some of y'all thinking, I know how to say no. No, you don't. If you knew how to say no, you would be focused on the thing that you need to do, and you would be able to get to the dream life that you're looking for. So I literally had to enter a season of no, and it started with me. I had to have a conversation with myself. I had to have a conversation with myself because I was saying yes to everything, even though I had all of these tasks on my to-do list, even though I had all of these things that I needed to do, even though I knew what I needed to get done for the day, what needed to happen for the week, somebody would come along and say, hey, Chanel, can you help me with this? Or the phone would ring and I would answer and be on the phone for 30, 40 minutes, be on the phone for an hour. A text would come in. I respond to the text, they respond back, I respond back, and then we're in this texting back and forth thing. You know, things kept happening. I would be invited out to something. So I literally had to enter a season of no. And so the thing that I'm telling you, if you want to double your income, if you are looking to bring more income into your life and take control of your life and truly have the life that you've always dreamed of and not just the one that you've settled for, you're going to need to enter a season of no. Some of the questions that I had to ask myself, some really hard questions, and you might need to ask yourself these same questions. This is not about running out telling people, oh, I got to say no to everything. I want you to ask yourself, what is my dream? And am I clear on my dream? If you are clear on your dream, then the next thing that you need to ask yourself is, are these people helping me to build my dream? Like, are they helping me to build my dream? And if the answer is no, then you should not have a problem saying no to some of the things they request from you. You need to ask yourself, are these people building me up? Do they speak words of encouragement? Do they challenge me? Do they inspire me? Do they motivate me? Do they keep me moving forward? We got to ask ourselves these questions. These are not questions for other people. These are questions for you. You got to ask yourself, And this is a real one right here, because sometimes we get stuck in situations, we get stuck in relationships, we get stuck in friendships that no longer serve us. And even in our family, some of us believe that because a person is our family member, we're obligated to give them time and to be friends with them. That's not true, folks. So I want you to ask yourself, if I met this person today, if I met you today, would I still be friends with you? So some of us, we had to do this activity in our family just not long ago. And the truth hurts. There are people in your family who, if you met them today, you wouldn't bring them into your friend circle. If you met them today, they wouldn't qualify to be a friend of yours. They are mean. They gossip all the time. They talk about people. They are negative. They always see things from the worst perspective. They always are worried about what if it goes wrong. And you wouldn't be friends with these people if you met them today. So ask yourself, are they a good influence on my life? Are they a good influence on my life? And can we be honest about whether or not people are a good influence on my life? And then when you ask yourself those questions, then you need to ask yourself, so what do I need to do? And so for me, it was to start saying no to some things, start saying no to anything that did not push my dream further. For anything that did not push my dream further. And keep in mind, this is just for a short period of time. This is not something that you're going to do for the rest of your life, although it is great for setting boundaries. But this is not something that you have to do forever. This is just for a season until you get your dream in place, until you have the foundation built for your dream. Too many of us are trying to add the dream on top of everything else that we're doing. Our life is already full. We already don't have time. We already don't have energy. We already don't have the aspiration. We already don't have the inspiration. And to add a little bit on top, we just gonna put a new big dream on top of it and just try to make it work. It does not work like that. Hey, Sidra, hey, it does not work like that. And I want us to know it does not work like that. So I had to start saying no to things that didn't push my dream further. So what are some of the things that I had to say no to? Well, first of all, I had to say no to going to the clubs. Like, we still go to the clubs. I live in St. Louis. We go to the clubs. And I had to say no to that. I had to start saying no, because by the time I get dressed, go to the club, hang out with you until 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, when I get back home, I'm tired the next day. It takes me 8 hours to recuperate from the club that I went to last night. I'm waking up late. I'm sluggish. I'm moving around late because I was out later than what I normally am. I was drinking because I like to have mixed drinks when I'm out. And all of that smoke was in my face. My eyes are all cloudy and all that good stuff. No. So I had to start saying no to clubs. When people would call me and say, oh man, they got this new spot opening up. Let's go check it out. No, I'm not available. I'm not going to be able to go. I had to say no to drinking. When I have a mixed drink, it makes me tired the next day. It makes me tired that night. And so I had to start saying no to drinks. When I'm in a season of no, I don't do any drinking socially at all, period. When I'm in a season of no, when people call me for dinners in the middle of the week, people call and they would say, come on, I just went the other day. They said, come on, let's go to Cyberg's. Let's go over there and check out their happy hour. I went because I'm not in the season of no. But when I'm in a season of no, I don't accept the invites. Hey, if you're with me live, give me a hey, what's up, what's going on? And if you're catching this in the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And of course, I'm streaming on YouTube. So let me know if you're with me. Give me a hey, what's up, what's going on? I also had to start saying no to, again, things that don't serve me. I had to start saying no to some of those family events. Like, some of us are in denial about our family and how we operate. I'm not going to keep going to these family events where all you doing is talking about me. All you doing is looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm just going just because we said we're supposed to go. And it's not always every family event, but we all know that we have two sides to the family. Like, we have two sides of family. We have our mom's side, we have our dad's side. And typically you are closer on one side than the other. And some events you go to, one of the things that I stopped going to my dad's side of the family reunion. I stopped going to the reunion. For what? All we're about to do is sit in the park, We're going to gather. We're going to sit in the park. We're going to barbecue. Nobody's introducing anybody to anybody. We don't know who anybody is. And then those who do know you, all they know is what somebody said about you and how they talked about you. So they want to see the person who was talked about. But we're not playing games. We're not building family. We're not talking about what's happened generations down the line. So I stopped going. I used to go every year, probably for 15 years. And every year it was the exact same thing. It was the exact same thing. And so I would spend a 3-day weekend doing these family reunions where the family didn't really reunion. All we did was came to a park and they barbecued. I didn't get to meet any more family than I knew. I knew my family who was here in St. Louis. I knew the ones I knew in Alabama. I knew the ones I knew in Mississippi, but we didn't like come together. Everybody introduced themselves, no commingling or any of that. This group stayed with this group, that group stayed with that group. I was like, no, this is a waste of time. And so I stopped going to the family reunion. And then once people stopped going, because we used to get large numbers, but it was because it wasn't serving me. And a lot of people, and myself included, I felt obligated to go because it's my family. And so I had to say to myself, when I was in my season of no, I was like, I'm not going. I'm not going to spend 3 days looking crazy, not talking to anybody, walking past people who you know are family, but you don't know how they're family, and all of this, and no events. And so I stopped going. So some of us, we need to think about the family events that don't serve us. And then even like I had to say no to phone calls. People know that I am a goat when it comes to do not disturb. That D&D button on your phone, and that came from my season of no. So some of us, we are people who get phone calls all the time. And I'm telling you, this is how I was able to go from 100,000 to 200,000 in a 6-month time period, because I eliminated some of these distractions. But I had to tell myself, I am in a season of no. When that phone rings, I have 4 sisters. I have a host of nieces and nephews. I have a host of great nieces and nephews. I have friends. I have business besties who I talk to. I have other associates who call me. I have people who I've done things for, people who I have, different types of relationships with. And people call me for a listening ear. People call me for advice. People call me to vent. People call me for crisis situations. My phone rings in a day. My phone probably rings 30 times in a day. And I think that's a lot. Like 30 phone calls in a day, that's a lot to me. And so I found myself, I will be taking phone calls, and I'll be on that phone call for 30 minutes, another phone call for 20 minutes, another phone call for an hour. My sister calls, we're laughing and we're kikiing for another hour. And then I look up and it's 7:00 at night. I haven't gotten any of the things that I needed to get done. And what was I really doing? I was engaging in gossiping. I was engaging in, talking about other people's business. Even if it's your family, like we're talking about what my niece did. That ain't none of my business, and that's not moving my business forward. So I had to start minding the business that paid me, or that I needed to pay me. And so I had to leave other people's business alone and start minding the business that paid me. So I had to stop that. I also had to stop the text messaging, because the thing that I noticed was once I started not taking the calls, then they will start texting me. And then when they send you a text, then you send them a text back, because you think, oh, let me send them this text back real quick. And then they send you a text back, and then you be like, oh, let me respond back to this. No, folks, it's okay. When people send you a text, you are not obligated to respond back. I need us to understand that in your season of no, when people send you a text message, you are not obligated to respond back. Okay. And then I also had to stop hanging out with people who keep the same problems. I was hanging out with people who, she talking about her horrible relationship this week. Next week, she's still talking about that same horrible relationship. Next month, she's still talking about this same man, the same stuff he doing, the same way he getting on her nerves, all of the same stuff. 6 months later, she's still talking about that same stuff. There is no resolution to the problem, nor is there a need or a desire for a resolution to the problem. And so I had to stop hanging out with people who kept the same problems. I right now, to this day, almost 8 years later, one of my good associates is still talking about the business she wants to start. I kid you not. To this day, right now, today, yep, I'm gonna start me a business. I want to get it going. Yep, I'm gonna do that. Yep. She been saying the same thing for 8 years. I done started a business, done scaled the business, done made amazing money in the business, done perfected the work for the business, done started helping other women start their businesses, and she's still talking about the same business she want to start. Folks, we got to stop hanging out with people who keep the same problems. And so I had to start saying no when they call to invite me out. What am I? No, we're gonna talk about this same thing that you got the same problem to. When she calls on the phone, nope, we still talking about this same thing. Nope, nope, nope. I also had to start saying no to what appeared to be opportunities and jobs that did not serve me. Hey, Leanne Clay. Hey, she said, amen. So I also had to start saying no to like these opportunities or things that presented themselves as an opportunity or jobs. Like people would come to me, they would know that I was available during the day now because I'm not in the school system. And they'd be like, hey, you want to go do this job for me? Or can you help me do so and so? And at first it would sound really good because it would bring money into the household. But then I realized, like me as a high achiever, I want to do it and do it well. So I will put all of my energy and effort into doing their work that they're paying me for. So you can think of them as a client, but the whole while I'm working for them, I'm not doing any work in my business. I'm not moving my business forward at all. And this is not enough money to take the place of what I make in my business. And so I had to stop saying no I had to start saying no to like those partnering opportunities. People will know that you're really good at what you do. They will know that you are really good at what you do, and they will want to take advantage of that. And if you don't understand that you're really good at what it is you do, you won't know that you're being taken advantage of. Sometimes we just get happy that people recognize that we're really good at what we do and that they're requesting our services and that they want us to work. And we don't think to ourselves, oh, they're taking advantage of me. So I had to realize that you want me to partner with you or to go on this this facilitation with you because you know that I'm going to shine through and I'm going to get the job done. But how is this helping me? This little $1,000 that you're paying me, not that $1,000 is not good money, but if I focus in my business and do what I need to do, I can pull in a contract that's going to be $40,000 as opposed to the $1,000 that you're paying me. And so we really have to understand that sometimes we need to say no to these opportunities and jobs and partnering opportunities, especially if it's not replacing the income in our business that we can create for ourselves. And then one of the other things I had to say no to, and some of us might be able to recognize this. Hey, Doc Smirk. Hey, thank you. I had to start saying no to trips. Y'all know I love a good trip. Oh my goodness, I love a good trip. I love to go to the beaches. I love to go where it's sunny. I love to go where it's beautiful at. I love experiences. And so it was really hard for me. Like I would say that was probably one of my hardest ones, having to say no to trips, because if I'm over in Florida, I'm not going to be able to focus in my business. Even though we say I'm going to work 4 hours in my business, I want to go where they going. I want to go to the brunches. I want to do the things in the place that I'm at. I want to go. And I know this about me. Now, that may not be true about you, but I know that about me. And so I had to say no. When I was in my season of no, and I'm telling you, it was July to December, I was in a season of no. And I said no to a lot of things. I also had to actively say no to any crisis situation. I don't know if any of you all deal with this, where people call you with a crisis situation, with a situation that's happening, and you're the solution to the problem. I had to opt out of all of that. See, in your season of no, you're opting out of all of these things. You have to decide that I'm opting out. I'm saying no. I'm no longer interested. Do not call me. I'm not available. And some of us don't want to do that, but we want to advance forward. And so I opted out of all crisis situations. When you call because they just turned your lights off, I cannot help you. I'm not available. That is your crisis. You created this crisis. And, you know, we spend a lot of emotional time on that. Oh my goodness, the kids are going to be over there in the dark. Oh my goodness, she's not going to be able to get up for work. And if I don't help her pay her bill, she's not going to be able to go to work. And then she's going to be homeless. And we do all this in our heads when that is not your crisis situation. So I had to opt out of crisis situations. People would call me and would say, oh, I just had a flat. My car is on the side of the road. Can you come get me? Am I your first option or your last option? That was the thing I had to ask. And I know some of this sounds mean. I absolutely understand that some of this sounds mean. But you got to ask yourself, are these people building you up? Or are they helping you to build your dream? And if you met this person today, would you still initiate this same relationship with them? And are they a good influence on your life right now? A lot of times these are not the folks, the people who you're spending your time with and using all of your mental energy with are not the people who are pouring into you and building you up and helping you to build your dream. Leanne Clay, see, I needed to hear this today. You are speaking to me. See, I was hoping I wasn't the only one who was having this problem, because I definitely had to move through this. And I'm telling you this, when I went into this season of no, and I started the live by saying I had to deal with me first. I had to ask myself these questions. And I would recommend that you all write the questions down, because you have to reflect back on it, because we are emotional human beings, and then we get to feeling bad, and we get to, you know, feeling guilty, and guilt is real, and we get to feeling like, well, you got it, you can do it, well, it ain't gonna take but a few minutes, and we'll talk ourselves out of doing the thing that we need to do for ourselves. And so when I'm in a situation, I have to ask myself, are these people building me up? The people who I'm talking about, the people who are calling me, the people who are requesting my time, the people who are requesting my energy, are they building me up? And then I ask myself, are they helping me build my dream? Are they supporting me? Are they posting my stuff on their social media? Are they coming to the events that I sponsor? Or are they sending me messages of encouragement? Or are they referring me out to other people? Are they making introductions that lead to contracts? Or what are they doing? Are they helping me to build my dream? And if you ask yourself right now, the people who you spend so much time with and who you're always saying yes to, are they doing these things for you? And then I had to ask myself, if I met this person today, would I initiate a relationship with them, a friendship with them? Would I do that? And this goes for family members, this goes for spouses, this goes for anybody who you are spending time with and saying yes to when you need to say no to them. And so I had to ask myself this. I have a sister who I had to say to myself, if she wasn't my sister, she couldn't be my friend. Like, she couldn't be my friend. Can we be honest? Y'all don't like it when I'm honest. I'm just telling you the truth. Like, if I were to meet her on the street and didn't know her, we would not be in a relationship, because she doesn't operate the way I operate. She doesn't, you know, like we're not in alignment. But because she's my sister, we make it work. You know what I'm saying? But then that also said to me, you need to spend time with people who are building you up. You don't have to spend as much time over here. It's not required. We don't have to keep the same friends that we had from elementary and high school. We don't have to stay in the same cliques we were in college. We can branch out. We can get other people who can build us up, who can help us to build our dream. I have a good friend right now. Anytime I post something, she posts it on all of her pages. Anytime I post something, when I get off this live, she gonna post it on all of her pages. She gonna post it on everything. I have another friend. She always got somebody who she's introducing me to. She's always sending an email connection. Every month she introduces me to somebody. And see, some of us have never had these people in our lives, but we've never went to generate these relationships. We've never attracted these relationships because we were not in a season of growth, and growth hurts. That's why I started out that way. Leanne Clay says, you're preaching this morning. Because I want us all to live our dream life. I really do. And this is the thing that your season of no should do for you. It should make your life easier. You got to ask yourself, are these things, are people making it easier or harder for me to get to my dreams. And if they're making it easier, you need to keep them in your life. If they're making it harder, you need to be willing to take a step back. And this is for people or things. Because if you're focused on all that other stuff and you're saying yes to everything else, that means that you are stretching your routine, because your focus should be on your daily routine. You should have a routine of success, the things that are going to move you forward. What does your daily routine look like? And if you don't have a daily routine, why not? Most of us have the daily routine of wake up, take a shower, get dressed, go to work, leave work, drive home, pick the kids up, take the kids to practice, cook dinner, and go to bed. Watch some TV, get on social media, go to bed. That's not a routine of success. That's not moving you forward. I didn't hear anything about your dream in there. Some people are truly living their dream, working in the school system. You always wanted to be a teacher. You became a teacher. You absolutely love it. You love serving the kids, and you want to do that for the rest of your life. Sis, you are living your dream. And I understand why your routine looks like that. I get it. But if that's not your dream, then that's not what your routine should look like. My routine don't look like that, because that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to live. Like, I like kids and I like serving the kids, but I want to live a good life. I want luxurious things. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul. I don't want to do any of those things. Some of us don't even want to admit that we don't want to work with kids anymore. We're tired of kids. It's okay. You got permission. What you liked before, you don't have to like now. Some of us don't like working with all them women in that building, in that school system. It's okay. You liked it for 10, 15 years. You don't have to like the same thing for 30, 40, 50 years or for the rest of your life. You have permission to change your mind, just like we do with our spouses. Some of us got married and that person changed, and we decided we don't like the person you became. And so we need to move on because we don't like this anymore. It's okay. Stop making yourself feel guilty about it. You have a right to change your mind. And anything that is harming you in any way is a toxic situation. And you need to be willing to step away from anything that harms you. You were not put here to be harmed. You were put here to bring collective consciousness and to help collective consciousness. And how are we serving others? How are we feeding into others? How are we pouring into others? So anyway, your focus needs to be on your routine, which is building your dream. Your focus needs to be on your daily health. What are you doing daily in regarding your health? Are you able to exercise? Are you able to go do an exercise class? Are you able to get your steps in? Are you able to do the walk? I was talking to somebody, they said they didn't even have 5 minutes to go for a walk, to walk. They didn't have 5 minutes to stretch. They didn't have 5 minutes to sit and breathe. They didn't have 5 minutes to sit and breathe. Thank you, Leanne. She said I shared it on my Facebook. Awesome word today. Thank you. Thank you. And are we spending time to develop the relationships that matter? The ones that matter, not just anyone. If you want to have a great, positive, productive relationship with your children, what are you doing to develop that? If you want to have a great, positive, healthy relationship with your spouse, what are you doing to develop that? If you want to have a great, positive, productive relationship with your sisters, brothers, siblings, whoever, what are you doing to develop that? It only takes a minute to send an encouraging text. It only takes a minute to the phone call doesn't have to be 3 hours. It can be a 10-minute phone call. Hey, I only have a couple of minutes. I just wanted to call and check in on you, see how you were doing, and see how I might be able to support you this week. It's real quick. You don't have to do a lot. It doesn't take 3 hours. We don't have to beat around the bush, but we also don't have to feel guilty. And then what are the activities that you need to do to move you forward? Are you doing any activities to move you forward? Some people say, I want to start a business. I want to do this. What are you doing? Did you do the steps to start the business? That takes 24 hours. You can get that done in a day. Are you engaging with people who can help you move forward? Are you with people who are doing more than you? What are you doing? What are the activities that you're engaging in? And what are the tasks? Are you doing tasks that are really going to move you forward? Or are you doing tasks that just keep you busy? So how I went from 100K to 200K was by entering a season of no. I entered a season of no and I 2x my income. Absolutely, I did. I entered a season of no and I 2x my income because then I was able to focus. If you don't know, focus means following one course until successful. I said I want to build a consulting business. And so that meant I needed to get out here, talk to people, network, build the business, as in create the LLC, do all of the things, build business credit. So each month, I didn't do this season of no forever. I did a season of no. It was 6 months for me, from July to December. And from that time, I 2x'd my income. Imagine what you would do to your income if you would just go into a season of no. Because some of us right now, we don't even do anything for extra income. We can't 2x our income because we can't even fathom that you can have more income. Some of you all are on social media, but you don't even work to monetize it. You can monetize that thing you're doing on social media. Some folks are posting every day, making people laugh, kikiing and cacaing, but you won't even investigate how to monetize this. That doesn't make sense. Some of us are building courses and stuff at school, but we don't think to ourselves, I can build a course and work to sell it. You may not sell it on the first day, but guess what? All of us started from zero. None of us started a platform with 500,000 people on it. We all started with 0 followers. Why do you think you're not going to start with 0 followers? And if you don't start with 0 followers, that means that you have an advantage. So I want us to think about the way that you're going to 2x your income is to go into a season of no, to lose all of the things that are not building you up, that are not helping you to support your dream, that are not a good influence on your life, and just say no to all of those things. That means you're going to have more time, because you're not going to be going to the clubs. You're not going to be drinking. You're not going to be going out to dinner and doing brunches and stuff. You're going to eliminate family events that don't serve you. You're going to get off the phone. You're going to get off of social media. You're going to stop scrolling. You're going to stop hanging out with people who keep the same set of problems, who are not building you up or helping you to be better. And you're not going to address crisis situations that do not involve you. Well, now what are you going to do? You got all of this time now because you're saying no to all of these other things. And so now you can focus on a winning routine that's going to allow you to do the work that you need for yourself, for your business. You're going to be able to exercise and monitor your health, go to the doctor's appointment, get your medication routine in order, get your skincare routine in order, get your hair care routine in order. You're going to be able to build in and feed into the relationships that really matter and give your attention to that. And then you're going to focus on activities that are going to move you forward. And my last thing that I know you're going to say, why do I tell people this? Well, first of all, you don't have to make a public announcement. That's what I first want everybody to know. No public announcement is needed. It just comes down to when somebody calls you, it's going to go to do not disturb. It's going to go to do not disturb. They're going to see, the phone is going to notify them that you are on do not disturb. So they're going to know that you're busy. You don't have to say anything. They're going to know that you're busy. When they send you a text, there is no rule that says you must text back. Do not even look at the text. Put your phone on do not disturb. Go to your office area. Put your phone in your bedroom. Make your phone be 10 feet away from you so that you don't even know anything is happening. It's on silent. It's on do not disturb. You don't know anything about that. So when people invite you to an event, I get invited to events all the time. I was just invited to church. And my response was, oh, thank you for the invite, but I won't be able to attend. I don't go into explanation. Y'all stop trying to explain yourself to people. You do not have to explain yourself to people. And for people who keep pushing and prodding and want an explanation, because I'm going to say yes to myself, I'm focused on something that I'm working on. So I'm saying no to you. Anytime somebody asks you something and they want to keep pressing and pushing for a reason, simply explain to them, I need to say no to you in order to say yes to myself. That you would have to be a crazy person not to understand that situation. Again, I need to say no to you in order to say yes to myself. You can let them know I'm not accepting invites at this time. I appreciate you making the invitation, but I won't be able to attend. It's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. You don't have to feel guilty about it. You don't have to let it run over in your head 26 times. You don't have to try to move your schedule around. You absolutely know what you should be focused on, and that is your dream. And if you don't have your dream, go back to the videos that I did all last week. And I walked you through how to create a new dream for your life over 40. I walked you through how to create that dream. I walked you through how to get out of a toxic job that you're working, that you need to leave. I walked you through how to create a positive exit strategy. I walked you through how to know what your exit number is. Go back and watch some of those videos. And today I'm talking to you about how I went from 100K to 200K in a 6-month time period. And you can do the same thing. But you first have to have a dream and stop settling and stop saying this is all that I can have. You got to understand that abundance is your birthright. You got to understand that you're the only one putting limitations on yourself. And the last thing that I'm going to say for real this time is that when we settle, like some of you all have already settled on, this is the amount that I get in retirement. Your job told you that when you retire, we're going to give you $2,200 a month. And that's all you're expecting. You have no expectation for anything more than that $2,200, $3,300, whatever the number is that they said that you get for a full pension. I want you to know that you can dream a bigger dream. You can dream a bigger dream. And there are things that you can do to create income without getting another job, where you can then fund a separate retirement so that you don't just have to take the 22 they're giving you. You can have 22 coming from them and 22 coming from somewhere else to now give you $4,400 a month for the rest of your life. Can you live off $4,400 a month? Can you do the things you want to do? And let's just stop thinking, can I live off of it? Let's think to ourselves, how do I want to live? I want to live a good life in my retirement, whatever retirement looks like for you. I want to travel. I want to be able to buy gifts for all of my grandchildren. I want to be able to give my grandchildren an advantage that I didn't have. I want to be able to have family reunions with all of my kids. And I want to pay for the airfare for everybody, whatever it is. You can't do that off of the single pension that the school system or wherever you work is giving you. But you can create your own. So I want us to stop settling. I want us to stop thinking that there's only one way. And I want us to understand that abundance is our birthright. And you can change your situation, and it doesn't take 5, 15, 20 years. You can literally do this in 6 months by taking on strategies that have worked for other people. And for me, it was a season of no. And I encourage you to try it too. I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you've been able to gain something from it. And I'll talk to y'all later. Every day this month in April, I'm coming live to, talk to you all and to share some of the things that work for me. And hopefully you can try some of them and they'll work for you. But I absolutely tell you, I know many, many women who do this and it has worked for them because as high achievers, we suffer from some of the same things, some of the people pleasing, some of the limits and beliefs, some of the same things. So y'all have a good rest of y'all Sunday.